Hello guys, and welcome back to the CPC Week 10, where we face off against Aberford, which is a conference opponent, and basically if you want to have a chance of playoffs you just have to win out from now. I'm playing this match like the day after I played my Week 9 match. I will be leaving on vacation pretty soon, in a few hours. So I wanted to do this match either early or after. Abe had a team ready, I just made a team, and we just rolled with it. And to be honest guys, this was one of those weeks that it was not even a pain to build a team. Why? Because I could build in a bit of variety. So that is a hard word to pronounce. So what I mean with that is that, as you may see, there's no Tapu Fini, there's no Mudsdale. Those are two mons that as of late, especially Mudsdale the last few weeks, are a bit of a staple on the team. And actually every week I think both of them had like nice matchups, but then in the match Fini does, but Mudsdale a little bit less, did not perform the way I wanted them to. And then we have this week where I don't bring them, and then look at my team. I have a Jolteon, which is quite a cool Jolteon set. I think it's mostly offensive, but it has a Chilan Berry because it makes it a bit of more of a switch in, and it can also revenge Swallow quite nicely if it has quick attack. It's also for Chilan Berry. If he brought Lucario, which he had on his team, he had Lucario and a Magneton, and a Lodo Merrick, that are 2-3 months on top of my head that I kind of also prepped for. But he decided not to bring them, as you can see. I'm just going over his team a bit first. So he brings Zygarde. Yeah, you always bring Zygarde. Basically, I don't have too much for Zygarde, especially except for Tangela. Then Mega Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir is also a big threat to me. Then Lego can also be a bit of annoying. Tailglow Manaphy is always annoying, especially if you don't have a Revenger for it. Then Swallow, as I already mentioned, I have Jolteon for it, but other than that, Tyranitar can also quite deal with it quite nicely actually. Can take some hits. And then Shrifty, I figured he could bring Shrifty, but it was hard to tell. Then Landorus. Landorus is the rock shadow this week. I believe it's fairly standard Landorus. Otherwise, then we have Tangela. Tangela is just I think mixed defensive Tangela with Stun Spore and just Kiko Drain, HP Ice, and I believe even Toxic. I did not have recovery because I thought I would just pivot out with Regenerator anyways. Drapion is max PDEF AV, can take some hits from Gardevoir especially, and just has the coverage for about his whole team with Poison Jet, Knockoff, Earthquake and Ice Fang. Then Tyranitar. Tyranitar is one of the win cons this week. I believe Landorus was also Rock Polish, that it could function as a win con, but it was also the Stealth Rocker, so it depended a bit on how the match would went. And then Tyranitar is a Dragon Lance Tyranitar with I believe it was Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Head Smash, basically all the coverage I needed. And then the Babiri Berry, because I feared like Magneton, so I could set up on, for example, Magneton, and also Bullet Punch Lucario, for example. So I could also then still deal with it. And then Gallade. Gallade's a really bulky Gallade with Drain Punch, I believe Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Knockoff, Poison Jab. I believe that was the coverage. It was hard figuring out because I don't hit Manaphy that hard, but I can still 3-shot it, and I definitely needed it to also be able to deal with Gardevoir, because nothing else will revenge Gardevoir, and Poison Jab, at least from full, it's a 50-50 to kill, I believe, and if rocks are up, it's a definite kill. So it's really important, and I brought it quite bulky to be able to deal with Lucario a bit better, because it outspeeds and kills. So that's it for now guys, and let's hop into the battle. So I lead Landorus as he leads Lego. Okay, turn 1. What is he thinking? What am I thinking? So I'm thinking some options are I could just Earthquake, but that sounded like a pretty bad idea because he could switch in like Swiftly if that's his counter. He might go hard into Swallow. I don't think he will, but he might. He might be bulky Manaphy to be able to deal with it. I'm sorry. So I thought just if I either can go Drapion, which can take any one hit of this new Lego really easily, or I could just stay and go for the rocks, because it's turn 1. Like I have such a safe switch in Drapion. I thought that he won't attack. He would either switch, which I don't expect him to. I thought we would just exchange rocks turn 1 and then go from there. But he might have read this, he might just be the aggressive ape, I know. He goes for the HPIs, and I know that this was a roll in my favor. I believe it was a 60% chance to live if he was not a boosted item, but he was life opening Lego. He kills me turn 1 and I'm like, oh, that's bad. So I go to the Drapion. He might think, okay, I just kill off this Drapion, or he thinks, okay, I put it in range of all my other ones. So he goes for the power jam. It does not do that much to me, and I kill him off with an earthquake. So turn 2, and it's already 5-5. He goes into Zygarde, and I'm like, okay, if he sets up here, I still have Tangela, so I kind of have to go out into it. I don't have much of a choice. I could maybe have just go for the Ice Fang, and if he DD, then I could at least break, how do you say it? Break the Yachi if he was Yachi, and then could go Tangela, which I think at +1 still takes 2. But if he has Outrage and he might get the rolls or so, I don't know my calcs by head. I don't have a Dragon Resist, so that's a bit bad. So I just go hard Tangela just to be safe. He makes a nice double into Gardevoir, but I expected him, if he wanted to Hyper Voice, it would only do about 60% and get 30% health back from pivoting out. Then after watching the Drapion, I just want to get off this turn sport because he Gardevoir gets a little bit more easy to revenge. So here I was like, okay, if he just goes for Hyper Voice, which is most likely, he will just kill off the Drapion, but he could get greedy, could also just get fully paralyzed, I don't know. So Drapion was the best play and the best sack. So Drapion dies, I go Tyrantrum because I don't want to risk the 50-50 with Gallade with the poison jab, so I know Head Smash is guaranteed to kill. Luckily we connect and we kill off this man Gardevoir, big threat to the team. Goes Manaphy, and I just go Gallade because even a +3 I can most likely take a Surf. I go here for the knockoff because I figured that Manaphy would be really scary if he's Wakan for the Jolteon, or potential of, how is that berry called? Select Berry, which it would then outspeed my whole team. So I went for the knockoff to get rid of those berries, which he turns out to be Wakan Berry. He just goes for the Tail Glow. I know that with Drain Punch I can get back to full and most likely live a hit. Depends a little bit on rolls, so I don't know if he was fully offensive or not, but at least I live, and I just go for the Drain Punch again. I figured he would just sack off his Manaphy, but he keeps it as a sack. He goes Zygarde, and I'm thinking, okay, again, no Dragon Resist, and I don't know my calcs. Tangela might be able to take 2+1 outrages, but still, if I don't proc his Yachi Berry, he can still, if he just hits through all his confusions, just flat out kill me. So I just go for the Ice Punch as he goes for the E-Speed. So I die. I go out in Tangela because I know I can wall this mon quite easily. He goes out into Swiftly. Here I'm thinking, okay, Tangela might still prove useful later on in this game, and also I probably can 1v1 this Swifty with Tangela, but I will lose my Eviolite and a lot of damage in the process, and I don't want that. So I got to Jolteon, get a crit knockoff, does not really matter that much. Then I throw off an HP Ice as he just sacks off his Manaphy. If he had Sucker Punch he could kill me, but that's fine. I kill off his Manaphy, he goes back out into Zygarde, so I'm thinking he's either DD and Yachi Berry, or he might just go for E-Speed, but I was like, I have a Tangela in the back, why would you E-Speed again? Like the last time was quite obvious, this time it's quite obvious. But he does go for that E-Speed. But now I'm realizing, okay, there might be just a reason for this E-Speed. And also, with the Swifty play, I was kinda also sacking off Jolteon to get in Tyrantrum and try to get up to +1 and then get rid of the rest of his team, because Manaphy at that time was alive but in range. Swallow is always in range. This Zygarde, if it's not Haban, is in range, and Swiftly is also definitely in range. But I was thinking, okay, let me look back at my calcs, because I remember being around 29-30% with Gallade, and he killed with V-Speed. So I could look back at my calcs, and I did not saw Life Orb. And then I was looking and I saw, oh, he has to be Choice Banded Zygarde. So he just now Choice Banded Extreme Speed, which means I can set up with Tyrantrum here, and there's a good chance I could win the game. So I go Tyrantrum, I go for the DD as he pivots out into Swiftly. Here I'm thinking, okay, He is max HP, I know that for my calcs, but he might be with quite some defense investment. If he has, and he lives a Dragon Claw, he could get over Leaf Storm. And a potential Leaf Storm plus Sucker Punch or Leaf Storm and E-Speed, Leaf Storm and Swallow potentially outspeeding, because I'm not outspeeding on max speed Swallow. I am outspeeding a speed creeping Swallow for my team, but not max speed. So I'm thinking, okay, I might have to throw off a head smash here. In hindsight, I don't know what's more likely, that he is really bulky and live a Dragon Claw, or me missing a head smash. So I think maybe in hindsight, when you look at pure statistics, Dragon Claw might be the better play, because it might be a less than 20% chance that he is that bulky. But I went for the head smash, I connected, and this Swifty goes down. He goes Drapion, he goes so I got, sorry, my bad. I know he's not Harpan, he was trying to bluff it, he said. So I throw off a Dragon Claw here and I kill off this Zygarde. Then he goes Swallow, and I believe I have this game, but you never know. He actually outspeeds me, so I go for Dragon Claw, he goes back to his Sash, and he throws a Boom Burst, which is not a 2-hit KO. So he does not have a move to 2-hit KO me. If he just went for 2 Boom Bursts, I also would have lived and I would still win the game. So that's game, guys. It's really a fun game, a quick game, really a match I expect against Ape, and at least we won this game. That's the most important thing. And Tarantum showing off is always nice. So we're back at 5-5. Playoff chances are pretty much alive. I believe if we win against a 12 and then we win against Lejon, and a 12 wins against Rob and Lejon, it comes down to differential. And also if Ape loses his last 2 games, which is not likely, then also we make playoffs. But if we all 3 win out, or at least for Ape he has to win 1 more game, I believe, then it comes down to differential. If Rob or Lejon beats A12, then it is pretty much the winner of me versus A12 is going to make playoffs. So we will just see how everything goes. I can mention this every week, but we will just have to see, and that's it for now, guys. Later.